Hola, comadres. Hanging in there. I guess I would have to say it's not one of my favorite days. I don't feel the best. Had a lot of emotional turmoil over the past few days. And, what's going on in the inside comes to the outside, and it also manifests in different ways. One of them is this fever blister. I knew that it was probably coming. When I have high stress situations, sometimes I get a combination of sores in my mouth, on my mouth. It just seems to be like that's where the mess comes out. So I've had probably a week of sores inside my mouth, which I'm sorry, it's gross. It even makes it hard talking sometimes. And then kapow, here we are here. And it's small compared to the gravity of the situation that kind of caused it. So just thinking of like how worry and grief are tied together. How when we're concerned for a loved one's health, it's not confined to that person and that situation. It's very much reaches back in to the psyche in all the times and any times that we've had a loved one in a serious health condition. I realized like Monday night, I just went on the bed, cry and jag for like an hour. Worried, stressed, and fear about, some situations that my brother's going through. And it took me back to the whole journey of my dad fading, being strong, and suddenly becoming frail, weak, and eventually his body failed him. And the same thing happened, to my mom. And I realized this is what my mom's doctor always said: the more birthdays you have, the more things you have that are going to wear out. The reality is, the longer we've been around, the more stress and strain there's been on every cell in our body. And I'm not one of those people that's like, getting old sucks, because like to me, we're still going. We may not be at high speed or getting that many miles per gallon, but hey, still going. To me, that's a joy, that's a blessing. And I just realized that I need to be present to myself when I'm going through an emotional time with others. So I don't know, my pep talk today is about being present and holding space for yourself when you're going through a rough time. There's that little voice in me that says, hey, this isn't happening to you. Why are you? And I was just like, shut up to that voice. When we love people, our joy will multiply, and so will our sadness. Our fear will multiply, and so will our pain when they're in a bad situation. So just like being present to myself and being kind to myself and setting some boundaries that I need to set. What is going to bring me some peace, some rest? How can I reach out for help? When do I withdraw? Like I just try to look at what's going on. How can I help myself through this? Because the reality is, as I'm helping others, I have to also be helping myself, managing my expectations of me and processing and expressing what's going on. I've had so much of my life where I've been a caregiver or like the person in charge, whether it's as a mother, a daughter, a sister, a friend. And a lot of times I just kept charging on through regardless of what I needed, because the other person and their situation was so difficult and devastating. I know that I don't have an infinite supply of power, energy, and emotional bandwidth. And sometimes, like Monday, I'm just going to have to pull away, take some time to myself, cry about it, talk about it a little bit, share when I feel comfortable to share, and know that releasing some of the pain, fear, and worry is the best thing I can do for myself. Charging ahead, como si nada está pasando, that part isn't working. I think that as caregivers, we often just like suck it up, life is hard, keep it to yourself. We need to be here to help others, we need to be present. And what that leads to is an intense sadness and weariness that is very hard to, I guess, aguantar. It's very hard to continue to march in that direction over time. And being aware that emotional turmoil is being triggered is one way to help myself. Like, I don't know where things are going to go. I don't know what's going to be required. And I'm not painting some picture of doom or some rainbow and sunshine picture. Health challenges are serious, and there's so much unknown between what we know today and where things are going to end up. And I'm just reminded today by how weary I feel, by these fever blisters, by the sadness I feel in my heart, that I need to be compassionate to myself. I need to give myself permission to be sad, permission to take my time, and permission to not be sparkling when I don't feel sparkly. It's kind of a serious one today, but my advice in this pep talk today is to be present to yourself while you're being present to others. Sometimes we just try to compartmentalize what we're feeling because I got to help others. And the reality with that is it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger in that compartment if we don't process it. So I'm just taking a few minutes talking with y'all. My brother is facing a very serious health challenge, and there's a lot of unknown. And I know that every journey is unique and individual. And as much as we care for others and have empathy and compassion for them, none of us know what the other person is truly going through. But one way I think we can honor them is by paying attention to how I can be supportive, how I can be encouraging, and what do I need to do to kind of restock my resources and realize that I'm going to be weary with this too. It's almost like as women, as mothers, as sisters, as daughters, we are programmed to be on 24/7 for everyone who might possibly need us. We are biologically programmed to provide survival for other organisms, and I don't think that we, quote, grow out of that when there's no longer a child growing within us. That just, for a lot of us, we are genetically programmed for that. And then some of us also emotionally and socially have accepted a role of leader and caretaker. And I just want us to remember to take that role in our own lives, to be our own leaders, to be our own caretakers, to connect with what we need while we're busy helping others. So that's my pep talk for today. I know I didn't make it till Wednesday. Yesterday I was at the hospital all day, and there was just a lot to process. And I'm thankful that I could have some quiet time, at the end of the day to process. And now, it's a new day, and let's see what's up. Let's see what direction things are going. And I was just reminded to hold some compassion for myself. And I hope you're doing the same, comadres. Love you.